Hello, how you all doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. So another video log, and today I'm going to focus on this thing that I've been working for the last week and a half, something like that. On and off, just 1 hour every day or something like that. I've been focusing on doing this tool for NPlusPlus. So NPlusPlus is a video game that I've been playing a lot. It's this platformer thing that sort of looks like this. You probably already saw a few of the videos that I have with it. So one of the issues that I had with NPlusPlus was trying to install some mods stuff or accessing the directories of the game itself. And I'm going to give you an example right now. So for example, I just took a screenshot of my profile and now I wanted to share it. So I wanted to share it, and to be able to access the directory, I need to click manage screenshots and then show on disk. And then from here, I can find the directory and I can find the file and share it. So it's annoying to know like this directory, for example, and I wanted to have like a short name to that. But also sometimes you need, if you were trying to add content to the game, which the game allows you, like some palettes, you can do some different palettes, you can do some different sound packs. It would be nice that you could just access those directories or just click a button that says install the stuff. Instead you have to go around here and navigate to properties, I think, and then local files, and then browse, I think. Yeah, and here you are at the NPP, and here you can change the palettes, add some different ones, and you can also change the sound pack to change to other stuff. But then if you want to, for example, back up your profile, which you do need to do, because if it gets corrupted, you lose all of your stuff, then you need to go to Documents and find the MetaNet thing and N++, and there's another directory here where it's also saving the recent files. So it's a bit of a mess, and it's manageable, but it's a bit annoying. You have to pin all these directories and stuff. So I thought, fuck this shit, pardon my French. I know programming, I know the power of programming, so I'm gonna use the power of Visual Studio to create something that will solve this problem for me. And that's what I've been doing in the last week and a half. So I created this little app that first has these directories all listed here, which is really useful for beginners. I divided this on tabs. The first tab is, for me, what I would like to do the most when I launch this assistant, which is have access to the different directories and just back up stuff that I usually back up. In this case is my profile and the editor levels. You might want to also back up your replays or all the palettes that you've been working on for some reason, all different kind of stuff. So I'm gonna walk you through it one by one what it does right now. Right now it has these directories, which if you click it, it automatically opens the folder where you're supposed to be at. If you click backup, it zips all the stuff and does the backup. Then if you go to NPlusPlusAssistant backups folder, you have all the stuff back up here on the different directories. If you go to one of them, you can see them here, and they're listed by date time tag. So it's the year, the month, the day, the hour, the minute, and the second that the archive got created, and you have everything listed by date. This is what I want, not have to care about backups, just have everything here on a single directory, all the different stuff. That's clean to me, that's my way, but this application allows you to do some other stuff, and it's still in development, so it will do some other stuff eventually. If you go to the profile tab, you can manage the different profiles, like you can delete old ones, you can back up the current one, and at some point when we click here, you will have like information on the profile here, like the completion points that you had so far, if it's corrupt, if it's not corrupt, that kind of stuff. I'll be trying to work with Eddie and a few other people of the community who have this kind of information to include it into NPlusPlusAssistant. Also, you have hot links to the directories here. If you click here, you go to the directory where you have all your backups if you want to like change stuff manually, and if you click on the profile folder, you'll go to the directory where your profile is if you want to access the profile directly. You can also install a profile. Imagine you can have different profiles here. For example, if you're speed running, you can do a profile for just the A row unlocked, and you can put it on the profile on the backup folder as a zip file here, and it will automatically be listed here, and you can just load it. So instead of fumbling around with File Explorer, changing back and forth. You can just have all of them here and just load or delete or whatever you want to do. And if you click here, backup, it will back up the current one and just add it. I'll also add a functionality at some point to rename one of these to something else, which can be useful if you're like managing those kind of stuff. That's in the to-do list. Moving on. Sound packs. This is the stuff that I've been working on recently, and I want to enable sound, so I can do this. So this gives you a preview of the sound pack that's currently loading. You can back up the currently sound pack, and then you can install something else like Acapella by Toaster, which is the most famous sound pack that exists. You saw this refresh, so that means that it's activated. Okay, so you can install all of the sound packs that exist on the community, and the cool thing about it is that it goes directly into the spreadsheet that is maintained by the community. I had to do some cleanup here, like I had to download everything, rezip it, and just have like a zip file with all the contents inside, no extra folders, no readmes, no weird names, that kind of stuff, no RARs instead of zips. And this is why I created this new column that just has a link to the direct zip download with all the stuff. So what the program does is that it uses the Google API, Google Sheets API version 4 to get the content of this spreadsheet, and I go through the names, I go through the authors, the date, I list it here, and then when you click install, it goes into that column, it gets the zip, downloads the zip, extracts the zip into the sounds folder, and it's working. Perfect. No dilly-dallying, clicking around, downloading, figure out what exists, what doesn't exist. You can just use NPlusPlusAssistant. All the sound packs that the community ever published are there immediately. Same thing for palettes. You can install every single palette from that were original from MetaNet. Even though it just helps, like if you haven't unlocked it yet, it shows up in the menu. That's the only useful thing you have. You can't actually change it. If you change it, you need to rename it to something else. Otherwise, the game will get the original palette instead of the one that you changed. You also have a list of the community palettes, all of the palettes here. There were some bugs on the spreadsheet as well. I had to fix a few of them. I think there are some files here that are still like wrong, that have like double folders or that are .rar. I need some people to help me test which of these things are broken. So I'm looking for testers. If you want to beta test this tool, please, the version is available and you can download it and try it out. So same thing as before. Let's see if I can find Tokyo here. Do I have Tokyo already installed? Yes, I do. So I can just like uninstall this palette and install Tokyo by SMK. Bam, it refreshed. Now if I go down to the T, here we go. Tokyo is installed. I found one of the good ones, and there's even like the date that it was changed. So you know if it's also interesting for you if you're like doing your own palettes. You can also back up your palette, and it goes to the local backups by name. So if I back up this one, I have Tokyo now here listed somewhere. Tokyo with the latest zip file. So if you're like doing changes to your own palette and you want to just do a quick zip of it, this is like the best way to also change between versions and that kind of stuff. There's also a hot link here to NPC Web, which is the website developed by Eddie and then extended by Zara, and I also did some small contributions to it, where you can like work on your palettes with some proper previews, which is not possible to have on this application right now. And yeah, it also lists the number of custom palettes, because there's a limit to the total number of palettes that the game can run is 255. This is a very specific number because it's a multiple of 2, and it relates to computing and the number of bytes that it uses to store stuff. And you already have like 123, I think, default palettes, so you're left with only slots for 130 something palettes. So here it lists you that number so you know that you don't go above. And that's important because if you go above that number, the memory overflows to other stuff and you start getting weird errors and bugs on the game, which I never experienced, so I don't know what they look like, but there's a warning here, and it also turns red supposedly when you reach that number and gives you like a pop-up message informing you that's happening. So that's where the application is right now. I want to do at least 2 more things. One is to have practice maps, like listing all of the MetaNet maps that you can select and install, and it will show up on your level editor inside the game, so that it's easier for you to move the ninja around and practice a specific map that you are struggling with on the normal completion stuff. And then community map packs as well, which is somewhat of a recent stuff. There aren't that many. I think there's only Hacks pack available, but I want to have them reading from a spreadsheet listing here and be easy to install and uninstall, so that you can more easily do that instead of having to fiddle around with command lines and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I've been doing on these last week and a half. If you I wanted to show you the repository where it's at, so I'm going to show it real quick. Wrong screen, this one. So if you go to psenough, this address here, github.com/psenough NPlusPlusAssistant, you have everything is open source. Anyone can use it, reuse it, do changes, whatever you want. That's my philosophy in life. Everything I do, I try to make it open source for other people to use. Could have easily just done this tool for myself and not share it with anyone, but I prefer to invest my time doing stuff that can be used by other people. If you don't know how to do code and like compile stuff, you click here on releases and you have the different versions here. The current one is version 04, which is the one I just showed you, and if you click here you can download the zip that has the executable. Hopefully it works. I'm not sure if it's missing some DLL or something like that for it to work. Need beta testers to help me with that, so if that's something you can help me with, you're very welcome to do so. And yeah, if you enjoyed all this development that I've been doing on this and you would like me to keep working on this kind of stuff, please consider supporting me through patreon.com/psenough, because this is my full-time job nowadays, doing content for the internet and doing random open source projects that I feel are useful for community. So anything you would be willing to donate to me would be very highly appreciated. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you found it useful, and hope you use this assistant in some way if you're using N++. See you next video. Bye bye everyone. Take care.